Yo, welcome back to The Gentleman and His Sword. Um, it's been a long time since I've recorded. I think it's been a couple of weeks. I've just been moving into my new location, and I finally settled down enough to have gotten into a proper rhythm. And it's been good. You know, it's how life goes. I wish we had a nice playbook on how to within our last 2 years between 16 and 18 on what we need to do for life in order to get ahead, because honestly I would have been ahead way earlier if I had I guess proper guidance. But it's we're here to do some lessons. We're here to learn and live and learn, otherwise you won't gain any experience. As I said, this podcast is dedicated to my sister, so that's why you're hearing me freestyle it all the time, because most of it just flows internally. I just have a specific topic in mind and I speak about it. And so today's topic for me personally is protect your energy. And when I say protect your energy, I don't just mean crystals and prayer and stuff like that. I think protecting your energy is, in a sense, understanding who you are and what you're about, and not having people compromise that aspect of you for their self-benefit. Now, obviously, this is random. Why would you talk about protect your energy? Or well, I think it's important because, personally, from what I've known, everything is energy. It's proven. E equals MC squared. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe there's some scientists over there who will tell me I'm wrong. But the point is, everything is energy. What we do, how we move, everything's constantly moving, right? This universe is created like that. So when I say protect your energy, I mean protect your personality, protect how you feel about things, protect the things that you value most in your life. Because obviously there's always going to be people who come around and test your integrity based on your belief systems and how you function. And so I just believe that it's important that you know what you're doing for yourself, and keep moving forward. Now, the reason I say this again is because I've been through a situation where I've found people, well, it's a specific person who tried to over-assert his boundaries after I initially tried to help him. And so, in that situation, well, this is actually, I have to say that this is actually my fault, because I went back on a rule that I said, which is actually, the rule is basically lending people money. And so I lent money to this guy, and yeah, he promised me to pay me at a specific time, a time frame, and we agreed on it. And so I lent him the money. And when the time came to actually receive the money back, is when I started getting avoidance, not picking up my calls, and straight ignoring me. But it's funny because at the same time, he'd still send me memes and things. And so I'm like, if you're ignoring the basis of why I'm calling you, why would you even have bothered, reaching back out to me to send funny jokes? And so I gave him a call, and he didn't pick up. I left him a message saying, this is where you need to send me the money because I don't think you have these details. And he ignored that too. And so on the day of the day where he actually was supposed to send the money back, I called him back and I asked him, hey, so when are you going to send me the money? And it was at this moment that I knew that I was dealing with a narcissist, because he tried to flip it on me. He's like, why are you on my ass? I'm like, what do you mean I'm on your ass. And he's like, dude, I said I'll pay you back XYZ. I'm like, listen, man, I'm just wanting you to honor your word, because one of the things I do is I value people's word. And when they say they're going to do something at a specific time frame, I hold them to it, because initially me believing in you in the first place to actually give you money, because money is energy if you think about it, give you a part of my energy so that because I felt that you need it, constitutes the fact that I trust you enough that you will honor your word. But the problem is that he didn't try and honor his word, because during this conversation he tried to make it sound like I was harassing him, and we're not talking, and sure, it might not be a large amount, but I wasn't inclined to tell the individual that may have been the last amount of money that I'm lending to him, in order for him to know why I needed it. And so with this point, I started to see like the side of him that was not visible, and he kept on going, and I said, listen, man, all I kept saying is like, I just need you to honor your word, man, because that's all I need you to do. I didn't tell him the details to do with why I lent him the money or whatever. I did give him the details of that may have been my last or anything, but his true nature showed up, and it was funny because after all that complaining and, you know, how should I say, gaslighting, whatever the fuck it is, disingenuousness, he managed to send me the money immediately. And so for me, I didn't understand. It's like, if you had the money all along, why would you go through the whole process of arguing and complaining that you need to give it back? Sorry, not give it back, but like harassing him. It was a funny experience. But I learned more about him at that point, and I was also at that point that I realized that I don't need a disingenuous person in my life, because if you can't honor your word for something so small, that means if later on, if there was anything huge that may have come up, you know, the only thing I have is the memory of how you treated me in this one situation. So it also comes into accountability. And so I cut him off. You know, it's as simple as that. You know, it's not my time is valuable. I don't need to be stressed out. In fact, I'm putting myself in situations where I need to be least stressed, so I can focus on the goals and things that I want to produce for myself. So, yeah. Dealing with a narcissist is like, it's not common, but it's good to identify people who are not genuine, because in that ingenuity, if you let it linger for long, it can become a cycle, because they end up using you over and over and over and over again. And that's not something that you would like to experience over and over and over again. And the experience being discontent. So, yeah, I thought that is important with relation to protecting your energy. You know, confrontation is nice, but only if it's in the right context. You know, my context would be like defending what you stand for, right? But if it's just confrontation over trivial stuff, and you not or things which you deem that aren't important, then you know it's easily avoidable, then I wouldn't want that in my life. And yeah, that's basically it. You know, protecting your energy is something that you learn over time, because when you're exploring the world and the unknown, you're encounter people, all sorts of people, and all sorts of people are attracted to you for different reasons, right? And you're attracted to other people for different reasons. It's the same thing. And so it takes good discernment to recognize what is for you and what is not for you, and taking actionable steps moving forward. So yeah, the basis of this podcast was like, protect your energy. It takes time to protect your energy. It takes a lot of learning to protect your energy. It takes a lot of situations that are, how can I put this, not favorable to understand how to protect your energy. And this isn't to brag, you already know that I've been, living by myself for a long time, almost 8 years, in a couple of weeks without any family. So learning how to protect your energy is very important. So that's why I thought it would be good for the second episode, especially knowing that you're about to enter into adulthood and shit. So yeah, thank you for coming to my Gentleman and His Sword podcast. I think the meaning of the sword would be the lessons accumulated over time. And so being able to wield that sword is important. I'll catch you on the next one. This podcast is available on Spotify, I think Apple Music too, and I will do an upload for YouTube later on, and I'll leave a link on the podcast on Spotify so you can find it. But all in all, for everyone who's listening, take care of yourself, and peace.